Oh, got it. Got it. You get that message too?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I guess we all get it. Hey, 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 hey.
Yes.
Look who's back.
Yes.
Look who's back.
What's going on, everybody?
Look
What's
who's
going
back.
on?
The Casey.
oh,
The
I miss you
star
guys.
of the show, the host with the
Nah.
most is back. Yes. Because I did not like that job.
yes, yes. I hope everybody had a good week so far. Um, yeah, man, I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's show with the special guest. Lana did her thing, holding it down, her use, you know. So, with that being said, yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah.
right into it. Or wait. Uh, yeah, we're gonna wait a couple more moments, maybe like another minute
Yeah.
or two.
I
And
I
yeah,
I imagine we're going to be fighting with the football game today.
yes, yes. But this is. I mean, unless you got money on the game, or you doing fantasy,
I know. Come on over here. Come
this is
on.
where you need to be. This is
Yeah.
where you need to be. We have action packed filled show for you guys today. Um, well, with that being said, I think we should just get right into it.
Let's go.
Um, welcome, welcome, welcome. For all our returning usual suspects, you guys are awesome. But if this is your first time tuning in, we're a local online news show. We talk about local, national, and international news. I am Aaron Casey.
I am Lana Quest.
There it is.
Hi.
There it is. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. This is great. This is great. So, again, welcome. Like we always do, we're going to start this show with some quick news. First thing that's on the list, I did not hear about this. I just found out about this the other day, but there seems like there was a cover up going in Chicago. A gentleman by the name of Michael Craig called 911 because of domestic violence. His wife, unfortunately, had a knife to his neck. Cops came, and unfortunately, they shot the gentleman, Michael Craig. It's a horribly situation. The cop that did the shooting should not have been at on that call at that time. But there's so much information. Y'all, please read the article. This is quick news, so we gotta move it right along.
Question. Did he die?
Yes,
He did. Oh, okay.
unfortunately he did. Unfortunately he did. Um, there is video out there, and it's just crazy because he called. They had their son was there with them at the time, and he told his son, "Hey, go outside and wait for the police." He even said his mom had the knife. They still unfortunately shot him and tried to cover it up. And this happened a month ago. This happened back
Wow.
in October. So this is why we got to have better policing. This is why we definitely need police reform. But please
Yeah.
check out that article. Everything we do talk about will be in the description box after the show, so you guys can do more research and find out about that. But moving right along, we do have some COVID news. Merck, a big pharmaceutical company, just got approval for their antiviral pill in the UK. UK, the way they do things and how they approve pharmaceuticals is a little different. Well, I would say way different than how the FDA approved things here.
Right.
So anytime you hear about new medicines and things like that, 9 out of 10 times, the first places that it was tested or was approved would be the UK over in Europe. But they're trying to get that here as well. So, instead of getting a shot, you just
Right.
pop a pill. A lot of people like taking pills anyway. We give out pills.
People like popping pills.
Right? Yo, this is a pill popping country. If
Yeah.
people could take a pill to do whatever, people would do it. But that is a first step in other pharmaceutical companies making their version of a COVID pill,
Right.
and trying to get it mass produced. So we'll definitely keep you up to date with what happens with that. But moving right along, again, some more COVID news, but this time is dealing with Pfizer. They are asking the FDA to approve booster shots for all adults. Right now, it's only available to senior citizens, 65 and older. But right now, they're trying to say, hey, make it available for everyone.
And younger adults who have the conditions, whatever premorbid conditions or whatever the conditions, you know what I mean? Like they're sick or diabetes or whatever, they can get the booster shot as well.
Okay, see, and this is Pfizer. I think we had talked about before. Pfizer's trying to make a pill as well, and they're still in the early processes. So the whole thing with Merck. Now we have Pfizer. A lot of this stuff is interconnected. We'll make sure to keep you guys up to date with that.
I want my booster. I want my booster now. I can't wait to get a booster. I think mine is wearing off. I need a booster.
For real. Need to get that. Need to get that one right there.
Exactly.
Moderna is another one that's also trying to get a antiviral pill or COVID pill as well.
Will you when we can do the boosters? Will you mix yours or will you go back with the same one? What do you think?
If I could go with the same one, I will. I heard of people mixing the shot. So, I mean, I don't know. It all depends. If Moderna's booster isn't available at the time, and let's say I think Johnson has a booster, and I think Pfizer, Johnson, I think one more other company has a booster. But yeah, if it's available, I will. If not, I guess I'll have to do the mix and match. I don't know. Is that good if you mix?
I don't know. That's why I was asking you. What would you do?
Well, I would have to know. I never thought about. I have heard people doing that. I haven't heard any crazy adverse effects to that. But I don't know. That's a good one. As long as it's safe, I would, but I haven't heard any negative things about it. But I have heard people taking different. So I don't know. It all depends. Let us know what y'all would do. If you are vaccinated, let us know. If you're not, hey, let us know. Your choice. But let us know, what would you do in that situation, in the comments or in the chat if you're here with us live, which I hope you are, because it's better live. It's the best. It's the best. Anyway, moving right along. Still in the quick news. If you guys didn't know, the Kyle Rittenhouse case has been going on for the past couple weeks. Just to give you guys an update, the defense made its closing remarks. Now, it's not their closing arguments, or no, they rested. I'm sorry, the defense rested today. The closing arguments will happen on Monday, and the prosecution will have its time tomorrow for their closing as well, or whatever they got to rest on. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer, but stuff is moving. But defense did rest today, made all their statements. It's been a crazy trial. There was one of the witnesses, from what some of the people are saying, played into the defense and was like, see, Kyle Rittenhouse shot the guy in self-defense. It's crazy. A lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, that was the prosecutor's star witness. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't matter. They didn't stand a chance. The judge is a good old boy, so it doesn't.
He was crying on the stand, like, what?
He's not crying. The judge is a MAGA. His phone went off. Why is his phone going off in the middle of a murder trial? One, and then
right.
The ringtone was that it's like the Trump rally cry at the Trump rallies, like "God Bless America," one of those songs. That's what hit the judge. That's what the judge, his ringtone was. So, they didn't need a jury. They got the judge. Like, he's already decided. He's already decided. He's already in the pocket. And he's not even quietly in the pocket. He's loudly in the pocket. Like, he's actually doing he's like a performance artist. He's doing that thing where, did I do good? Did I do good? Like, all the yelling and the extra hand movements and putting that prosecutor in his place. Like, meanwhile, the defense is just back there like, that. Like, it's a zoo. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
I honestly, I blame Trump for just
blame Trump for everything.
Just don't care no more. Like, the quiet parts that they used to say, it's in your face. Hey, like, it is what it is. What else? Yeah, so that's with the Kyle Rittenhouse. Again, I have all this for you guys to check it out. Almost done. Last couple things. If you guys didn't know, COP26 summit, which is basically a big climate change convention where everybody comes in from across the globe, talks about what they can do. We're going to lower emissions by 2050, all this stuff.
Right.
Anyway, I spoke about this young lady a couple months ago. The last time there was a major climate change convention, but she's back again. The Uganda climate activist, Vanessa Niketi. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I'm horrible with names, y'all. But she was out there again, doing a thing, talking the talk, letting people know what needs to change, especially what's going on in Africa and things like that. She did her thing. She had another amazing speech. I'll leave a link so you guys can go check that out as well. And to back it up, they brought out another young lady activist, but this time she's from the Philippines, Mitzi Tan. Now, the way she came at it was a little different, talking about how capitalism and colonialism is what is fueling climate change. Very interesting approach and perspective on that. You guys need to check that out. And rounding out the last little bit of the quick news, of course, we have the Ahmaud Arbery case that's going on as well. A lot of court cases, a lot of high-profile court cases that's going on. And this is just the beginning. A lot of court cases are going to be happening in 2022.
Yeah, for sure.
So stay tuned. You guys need to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you guys can stay up to date with all of that, because we'll have more information about those cases as well. But the Ahmaud Arbery case, I'm sorry, Ahmaud, is that how you say his name?
Well,
Ahmaud, there we go. Ahmaud Arbery, that case is going on. The defense lawyer, I don't know what's going on with him. He's like, we don't need no more Black preachers in the audience. I don't get that. It's weird.
Wait, what does that mean? Huh?
He don't want they don't want black pastors in the audience.
What do you mean? Oh, like as a just like a people who just sit to watch cases, and I don't know what that means. They have that now with pandemic. Like you can just go and sit and watch a trial. Is that what they mean? Like I'm confused.
That's he don't want. They don't want the black pastors in the courtroom.
Okay.
That's what Ed,
yeah.
I don't want him. That's what he said.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
That's
to someone. That is where we're at. You know, he's the victim is not a victim. The perpetrator and the murderer is the victim. You know, you can't say the word racist, although we know that it was a racist act. Georgia did not have a hate crime on the books. Like there was it just didn't exist there until after this. Like it's just a whole poop show.
yeah. And I just want to say in my main story, I will be talking about citizens arrest and all of that, like what it entails. But that's all I have for quick news. It's great to be back. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Please hit that like button. That really does affect the YouTube algorithm. Shout out to all the usual suspects. I miss you guys. That's all. As the one and only Miss Quest, take it over, please.
Is it my turn? No, don't you go into your, like I see it's been so long since you've been here. I don't think
I'm done with the quick news.
But don't you go into your thing, don't you? And then see, look at this. We don't even know what's going on here.
Well, I can go right in.
Yeah, you go into your thing. And I thought I did the game, and then I close out.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's been a while, y'all. It's been a while. But so I got two stories for you guys today. The first one, if you guys haven't been, paying attention to the news, is what's been going on with the whole Astro World situation. In the Travis Scott concert. First off, I want to say my condolences to the families that lost loved ones at the show. And then we do have an update. Another person, another lady by the name of Bharti Shahani.
Right.
Unfortunately, she just passed away as well, 22 years old. So now the total people that passed away has risen to 9.
Right.
It is so unfortunate that this happens. When people go to concerts, you want to have fun. You're there to enjoy the music because that's your favorite artist. Probably there's, of course, other people that's going to be performing. You like them as well. You're going with your boys, your homegirl, your girlfriend, boyfriend. You're going out to have a good time, to enjoy the music, dance, and again, have a good time. Unfortunately, that's not what happened at this particular festival. I just found out that, I've never been to any of his concerts, so I don't know. But people are saying that mosh pitting and people raging and all that is kind of typical at his concerts. There have been previous people who have, passed out at his concerts because of that. So it's he has kind of a history of things like this happening, which they shouldn't. You should just go there to have fun. I mean, if you want to get lit, jump up and down, yes, but do it in a way to where you're staying safe, right? Like I don't know, mosh pitting. I've only seen videos. I heard it gets crazy. People throwing blows, tackling. I don't know.
But is that what he asked for at this one?
So they were saying that he was telling the crowd to rage, get lit, things like that. Now he did stop his show at one point when there's somebody that did pass out or become unconscious. He told people to stop, make room, get that person to the medical tent or the paramedics that were there on site. So he did do that. Now, I don't know if that was the only time. That's the only video that, was going around the internet. I haven't heard him do any other, kind of get the crowd going or pay attention to, someone that's been injured. But everybody's saying other than that, he totally ignored what was going on.
I think that's unfair. Like I don't know. I think it's unfair. I think the media has just grabbed hold of it, and then they started talking about the things that, in 2015 he did this and this year he did that. I mean, he's an artist. He's on stage and all you see is our bodies. Like, you know what I mean? You're trying to perform. It's his job to actually be looking out into the thing to see what's going on. Because you got to think, everywhere he performs, there are probably fights in the audience. There's probably people trying to get up on the stage. You know what I mean? Like, he sees that all the time. So, and people are saying something's wrong with my mic. I don't know what's wrong with my mic because I don't even hear anything wrong with the mic. Do I sound funny to you?
Maybe a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I don't know. It may be the headphones and not the mic, to be honest with you. I don't know. But yeah, I don't want to put the onus all on him, and they have to sue him because that's just part of it. We actually have a case with a rapper in my audience right now that came to Boston. He wasn't even in the vicinity. One of his security guards got into a fight at one of the hotels at the seaport, and they're suing the rapper, the security and all. You're right. Security. Exactly. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
But no, I have to kind of agree on that. I used to perform, not necessarily obviously in crowds as massive as that, but I performed in some pretty big crowds before, and it is kind of, you can't tell, like I've seen a video where they were saying, they had the crowd and they were saying, stop the show. I don't know the distance. You have a lot of people screaming, it's, I don't think it's totally fair to put all the onus on him. Yeah, he may have had stuff like that in the past, but you have to look at each situation on its own, and he might have not have heard what the people in the back were saying. Maybe the people in the front weren't saying that. I don't know, but anyway, it's a sad situation all around. Again,
it is.
I do give my condolences to the people that lost their loved ones. But I do have one gripe before I move on to my next topic, and it's unfortunate. I heard that a 9-year-old is injured because of this, and I do hope that little kid, boy or girl, gets a speedy recovery. That is so tragic that happened. But my only thing is, why are you bringing a 9-year-old to a concert like that? Yeah, I know it was, supposed to be a family atmosphere. You could bring your kids, but a 9-year-old, I don't know. I don't know. I personally wouldn't bring my 10-year-old son to a concert. Not even. I mean, I want to have fun. I don't want to have to necessarily worry. Like, all right, where are you at? Like, people gonna be jumping up and down, screaming. There's gonna be a lot of people there. Like, I don't want to necessarily have to be like, all right, where you at? Where you at? You here? Because if they get away, you try to scream. He ain't gonna hear. So, but I do hope that the little kid does have a speedy recovery. Yeah. It's so unfortunate. So unfortunate. But again, like I said, I'll have everything in the description. Moving to my second topic, citizen's arrest. And the reason why I thought about this is because of the different cases that's going on right now. Mainly what's going on with the Ahmaud Arbery case and how they're claiming that, we were trying to do a citizen's arrest and things like that. Well, you're probably asking yourself, what is a citizen's arrest? How what is that? And basically, a citizen's arrest is where suppose a citizen can arrest another person or detain them until law enforcement comes on the scene. What is taught, it says Thomas Aveen. He's the executive director of Police Policy and Studies Council. And he says what they're taught to police recruits is detain both, ascertain the facts, and proceed. Basically, when another person does a citizen's arrest, the cops come on the scene and both people are detained so that they can figure out who's saying what.
Right.
He says, in my experience, you would see both the citizens making the arrest and the person arrested both detained, and the citizen would be compelled to give a statement with regard to what he or she saw. So basically, the person who's making the citizen arrest has to tell the cops what happened. When you have it, I don't think that a citizen's arrest should be permitted, because you can have situations like this where a person may have certain biases, may feel a certain way about a particular person. There may be a feud going on, and they're saying, you know what? I'm gonna make a citizen's arrest based on, you stepping in my yard, you got a sign. Hold on 1 second. Let me just scroll down real quick. And so part of it is, the next aspect is, what do people get wrong about citizen's arrest? And it says, while the way citizen's arrest laws are written, they're often subject to interpretation. Generally speaking, there are things that they do that's not allowed. I think some people see the law as licensed to become a cowboy, or somehow to deputize you to become a cop. Doesn't work like that. If you want to become a cop, you can go to the police academy and do it the right way. Like when they say with vigilantes, if you feel like there's stuff going on, there's crime, and you want to make a difference, become a cop. Become that difference. Don't go off on your own. Be a vigilante. No, don't do that. Now, what does all this have to do? I'm gonna tie this up. What does this have to do with the Aubrey case? Well, every case has its specific factors. In the case of the Aubrey, unfortunately, Aubrey death, there's a video of his killing. One of the men arrested is charged with the Aubrey murder, is also a retired police officer. So he thought, because he was a police officer, because he understood the laws, he could make his own citizen's arrest. There's actually a quote of him saying, if his son didn't do it, he would do it. Like, that right there just tells you everything. Citizens arrest, that wasn't on their mind. They weren't out there to help the community. They weren't out there to apprehend a criminal that supposedly broke into a construction site, stole some tools, paint, whatever. They weren't there for that. They weren't there to defend. They were there to, unfortunately, take a life.
Right.
That's what was on their mind. That's what they were there to do. And they used this guise of a citizen's arrest to cover that up. They didn't care what the consequences were. The dude was an ex-cop. He figured he knew the law, took it in his own hands. And unfortunately, somebody lost their life. And they're on trial right now. And I hope that they do get convicted. Again, he said if his son didn't do it, he would do it. That tells me everything I need to know. They weren't there to protect the citizens or somebody's property. They were there for their own personal motives and had their own thoughts about who this person was. and unfortunately, they took his life because of it. So that's all I got. Now I can pass the mic off to Quest.
And you know what? I think you were right. I guess we were supposed to do the game was next. I'm so confused. So I think you were right. But we're going to play the game right now. So let's get into guess the quote. Where are you ready, Casey? You haven't played this game in a little while, so
I'm hoping the usual suspects can help me out.
Yes,
but I'm ready. Let's do it. All
right. So first is a question: who in the current administration tested positive for COVID of recent? Who in the current administration tested positive for COVID of recent?
Now, from what I remember,
mm-hmm.
Y'all know I'm horrible with names, so I'm gonna just say her first name, Jen Psaki.
I mean, I know who you mean. Yes, that is her. Right. Jen Psaki. I think it's Psaki. Psaki. Yes.
Psaki?
No, the P is silent.
Oh, Psaki.
Yes, the P is silent. Right. And next time we're gonna let the chat get a guess too. Casey.
Oh.
Yes. You answered that too fast. Okay, next quote. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. Meaning it should just be automatic. It shouldn't be something I
want all my teeth.
It shouldn't be a luxury. Keeping teeth in your mouth as you grow old should not be a luxury in this country. Sake like the wine.
Let's see.
Keeping teeth in your mouth. Joy Behar. Good. Oh, wow. Bernie. Yes. Brian got it. That's good. Yeah.
It shouldn't be a luxury.
It shouldn't be a luxury. Right.
Like
exactly. Exactly. Okay. I got the COVID-19 vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy.
Repeat that one more time.
I got the COVID-19 vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy. Michelle got it. Yes, Michelle. And she's on it first. Yes. Big Bird.
That's why Ted Cruz. Okay.
Yeah, Big Bird. Okay, next. We should not have to keep fighting so hard to secure our fundamental rights, but fight we must and we will fight. We should not have to keep fighting so hard to secure our fundamental rights, but fight we must and we will fight.
Fight we must and we will.
Hey, Mary, I don't know what's wrong with my mic. We should not have to keep fighting so hard to secure our fundamental rights, but fight we must and we will fight. Okay, I'll give hints. A woman said it, a part of the administration. She's very high up in the administration.
High up in the admin.
Yes. We should not have to keep fighting so hard to secure our fundamental rights, but fight we must, and we will fight. Very high up in the administration, a woman. Okay. She is
Simone?
No, she is second to the presidency.
Kamala.
Yeah. Yes, Kamala. Okay. Government propaganda for 5-year-olds. That's the quote.
Say that one more time.
It's government propaganda for 5-year-olds.
5-year-olds.
It's government propaganda for 5-year-olds. Who said that? Yes, Ted Cruz. Look at Michelle out here, just boom, boom, boom. She getting it. Yes, Ted Cruz.
Real quick, before you go on to the next one, I do want to apologize. I meant to say VP Harris. I do apologize about that. Yes, Miss VP Harris. That's what. Yes. So thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And keeping in line with Sesame Street quotes, here's another one. Who called Sesame Street child predators and warns of the big farmer pervert dressed up as Big Bird? Who called Sesame Street a bunch of child predators and warns of the big farmer dressed up as Big Bird?
That's honestly, I think that sounds like something Tucker Carlson would say.
Very close. Very close. You're in the same ballpark. You're in the same ballpark. Oh, not MTG. Hint. I hate giving hints because you're going to get it. My hints are so obvious. Let's see. It's a woman. It's a woman with no edges. Who called Sesame Street child predators and warns of the big farmer dressed up as Big Bird?
What's her name?
No edges.
She did like the white salute sign.
It's not Hannity. Hannity has his edges.
I can't.
Yeah, it's Candy. Yeah, Candace Owens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are already going to know this one because I think we just said this, but this one's a question. During the Rittenhouse trial, the judge's phone rang. Guess the ringtone. If you were paying attention, I just said it.
And so I'm not going to say the answer because she literally just said that. So I'm gonna let the usual suspects in the chat figure this one out.
Yes. What was the ringtone of the judge in the Rittenhouse trial?
Ingram.
They're a little behind. Yeah, American song. Yeah, God bless the USA. Yeah. That is so whack. Oh my God. Thank you guys for playing. As always, you guys are the best. I love those Big Bird quotes. So we're going to jump right into infrastructure because that did pass and we probably should mention it. So I'm just going to run down some things that are in this infrastructure bill. So the infrastructure bill was a $1.2 trillion. It was bipartisan. Nice. So it's $550 billion over 5 years. Like, I can't even imagine this amount of money. And it's going towards the things that we needed to go towards: bridges, roads, broadband, water, energy systems, environmental remediation, that's in there, which is amazing because I guess in the Build Back Better plan, that's the climate change and things like that and the environmental stuff. But actually in the infrastructure bill, it does have a little bit of those things in it too, which is really good. So they're going to be doing environmental remediation. So that's kind of cleaning up of the environment. So it could be like asbestos, it could be like sludge, and some factories dumping it, something like that. Improving like the power grids.
Which we have to do with, especially with the power grids. That
Actually,
Texas
with
is
the
a
power,
prime example.
right? But they're out here voting against this. But Texas needs it the most, right? Electric vehicles. They're going to be working on that, getting more electric vehicles. Do you know that there are countries? I just heard this, and I don't know what country it is because I didn't look it up. But I did hear someone talking about there are countries that have parts of their highway that charge the electric vehicles, like the actual highway. Driving on that highway will charge the vehicle, because that's the thing about like living in the hood and things like that. You want everyone to invest and get these electric vehicles, but there are no charging stations anywhere near anyone. Like there are more of those bike things that you can get than like charging stations for these vehicles. So that's going to be a part of it. Let's see. So $110 billion is going towards the roads, bridges. $40 billion is going towards bridge repair. So there are two different things. There's money going towards the bridges, building bridges to wherever, connecting places, and then they're going to be doing bridge repair, replacement, and rehab. 11 billion is going towards transportation. And I know that, the Black and brown community, we get to a place where we say, well, these things don't have anything to do with us. When they actually do have a lot of things to do with you, not just the Build Back Better plan, but the infrastructure plan too, because what this plans to do is so currently there are places where there are bridges, there are highways that split communities. So there would be Black communities on one side, white communities on other sides, and white communities are getting all the benefits. So they're going to take care of that. That's what part of this infrastructure is going to do. It's going to reconnect the communities that have been disproportionately treated badly or just left out. It's going to take care of broadband, as I said. So that's going to help the Black and brown communities, and transportation, because there are Black and brown communities that aren't getting the transportation that they need, like the trains, the buses. So they're putting money into that to connect those, again, those communities that have been marginalized for years. It's going to help them get, the help that they need. Also, pipes. Finally, pipes are getting money to get these pipes clean and get the lead out of these pipes. So that's great as well.
This is jobs as well. This is helping create jobs, which is
helping create jobs. Right. There's even something in there about having some type of, not an organization, but like a group of people who are going to access like where accidents happen the most, those areas in every state, the pedestrian versus vehicle, the bicycle versus pedestrian, those accidents, like really hone in on those and like fix the issues. I don't know about anyone else, but I know here in Massachusetts, there are when you're getting on the expressway, like that, it's too short of distance between trying to, get over to your side. Like you're getting on and you got to get over, and it's not enough space for you to keep going. Like I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean? Like it's just too short. So it's hard to get yourself over. Like it's going to causes accidents. Don't know how to
drive, they don't want to be courteous.
Oh, there's nothing in there's nothing in the infrastructure bill that is going to take care of people's driving. No. We wish there was, but I just wanted to touch base on the infrastructure bill. I also wanted to touch base on Dr. James Whitfield. If you've been following the James Whitfield case, he is the first Black principal of Colleyville Heritage High in Fort Worth, Texas. I actually think he may be the first Black principal in that whole district, and that's probably why they don't like him, because he didn't bend the way they wanted him to bend, because they want the Black people to come in, check the box, and then they don't bend. So if you've been following this case, you know that he had been put on leave pending a vote from the school council board or something like that, because they accused him of teaching critical race theory. But it's a little convoluted, because as we know, that's not being taught anywhere. But then they ended up not renewing his contract. So basically he's fired. He is getting paid up until like August 2023, I believe, or something like that. However, there's a whole bunch of things that are coming out of why this man has been relieved of his duties. One thing that they are saying is because he's married to a white woman. We don't know if that's a fact, but that with racist, it could possibly be the reason why, because guess what? He wasn't teaching critical race theory either. So that wasn't a fact, right? But they were citing that there were issues with his, the way he was, I don't know, running things, because he wasn't a teacher. Again, he's a principal. He's a whole doctor. So they just made the excuse that he was teaching critical race theory, because critical race theory right now is the boogeyman. Just for people who do not know, CRT is not being taught. It is a graduate school course. It is in theory about how a racial bias impacts policy. Your 10-year-olds aren't learning about that. No. Right, they're not learning about that, right? This is just, the smoke screen so they can do what they do with, because they also don't want the kids to know about diversity, any type of Black history, Indigenous history, just anyone who is non-white history, they don't want it taught. And we know why. So yes, Dr. James Whitfield was relieved of his duties. In my opinion, I'm sure it's in everyone else's opinion. I'm talking about this because this is going to have a big impact, and it's not just Dr. James Whitfield. This is the start. This is going to be the start of a humongous problem, because teachers in those states, right? Not in like Massachusetts, because they're not doing this here. But the Texas, Alabama, those teachers are in jeopardy, right? Not just the Black teachers, but any white teacher who wants to teach about diversity. I read today that another school in Texas is getting rid of like The Bluest Eye and another book, like any book that delves or deals with what Black people have dealt with in this country. Like, it's unbelievable that all of those books they want off the shelf. But what they didn't know, because they're not that smart, is that it makes people more curious, right? So those books, everyone is going to buy those books. Every time a school is like, we don't want The Bluest Eye here, everyone is going to buy those books. So keep doing what you're doing, because at some point what will happen, Black folks are going to get it together, and we're going to start opening up some charter schools, and some schools are going to be popping up all over the place that y'all can't touch, because this is ridiculous at this point. So yes, that happened this week. I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, it's bad. Keep going. Yeah, add.
It's Black history is
American history.
It's a part of history, and just like when people say Black Lives Matter, it's not saying that only Black Lives Matter. And the same thing with Black history. We're not saying that you only need to know what we did. No, it's a part of history. Black people have contributed throughout history. and to not, give them their flowers, give them their credits is a disservice.
Right.
And so it's not saying, we're adding, it's adding to the plethora, the extensive history of this country, and it's nothing bad. I mean, everybody knows about, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Everybody knows about them. There are other people that played a huge part in the development,
right,
the moving forward of this country, whether it be with agriculture, whether it be with medicine, whether it be with doctors, science, the maths, there are, thousands of people. And so to say that we shouldn't learn about that, the younger generation learn about that, that's giving them a disservice. That's not giving
right,
them the full picture. So, it's sad that we have to even say this, because history should just be taught. History is history.
right,
You can learn from it.
right,
You can figure out, how to, well, they had something similar like this. What did they do? Okay, the technology is a little better. What can we do to improve on that? And if you don't have that knowledge, you're going to be stuck.
right.
And again, Black people have contributed a lot to this country, and to not know the contributions that they have brought, again, it's a disservice. And to frame it like, oh no, it's not, white guilt, or, saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what we've been through. This is the people that helped us achieve where we're at now. These are the shoulders that we're standing on. Again, whether it be science, mathematics, agriculture,
right.
It's a part of what made America great.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. And no one is talking about the Black kids or the brown kids or the indigenous kids, right? It's all about, it's the parents, right? The parents, oh, my white kid is feeling guilty, or was like, oh my God, someone accused it. Like, so our children, non-white children, are supposed to sit in a classroom, and all day long, they got to learn about Christopher Columbus and Paul Revere and every other slave owner, rapist. That makes no sense. So you know what you do? Everyone, white people, anti-racist, you guys teach your kids, because they're not, if you're in those states, your kids are not going to be taught history. So those schools are doing your children a disservice. So you need to bring your kids home, sit them down, and teach them some history. I don't care what you have to do. Google encyclopedias if they still sell those things, but buy them some books, read to them, take them to some museums so they are well-rounded. Because if you living in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, your kids ain't getting a real education. They're just not. They really aren't. It's unfortunate. And so moving on, in closing, how we always talk about environmental racism, how, the environment, how it impacts Black and brown communities disproportionately, how, we suffer the highest from like asthma and certain diseases because the environment is actually killing us. So, but it also affects others. It affects white people who live in rural areas, or in areas that are near toxic dumps. For instance, in 2013, Melissa Bumstead's 4-year-old daughter was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. So she would have to take her daughter for treatment at the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. And while her daughter is being treated for this rare form of leukemia, she was meeting other parents who also had children with rare forms of leukemia. And then come to find out they all lived in the same vicinity, which was San Fernando Valley in California. So and this is going to be a documentary, I believe, tomorrow, and it's probably worth seeing. It's going to be on MSNBC. It's called In the Dark of the Valley. The chat, let me know when it comes on. I think it's tomorrow. But they had been building on top of this. It was a lab. I was
They
just
were
like,
building what?
their homes and stuff were like downhill from this lab that was dumping toxic stuff. So these kids were ending up with cancer. And this is not new. This is like, has been happening forever. All of those dumping sites, all those kids are playing in the rivers and the stream and outside and in this dirt, and they've just been dumping. I watched a story on a woman. She lived down south somewhere, and I think it was Soledad O'Brien did the interview, and she went to visit the woman at her house, and they started walking towards the dump. She started sneezing. Like Soledad O'Brien, she started sneezing, like she couldn't even breathe. The woman was so accustomed to the smell. She smelled it, but it didn't. Right. But I'm pretty sure that it was affecting her body. And it was just like piles and piles of, like, it was rubber or something that had been dumped over there, man. Like, it's we have to get serious about our environment. We really do. You know, we have so many things that we have to fight right now, but environmental issues and having regulations, we have regulations for a reason. And that's another reason we have to continue to vote, because we can't have people in this office who do not care about our environment and who do not care about the climate, because I'm afraid. I won't be here in 50, 60 years, but what is the world going to be like? Like, what is the world? Yeah, they're going to be on oxygen. Everyone's going to need oxygen. They got their home oxygen because you're not going to be able to breathe this air. It's very unfortunate. But in closing, because it's getting late and it's close to time, we're going to end it on some Black history is American history. Yes. We're going to talk about Vernon Ferdinand Dahmer. He was born March 10th, 1908, Forest County, Mississippi. He died January 10th, 1966 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. If you want to see a picture of Mr. Dahmer, here he is. That is Mr. Dahmer. Nice. So Vernon Dahmer was a Black civil rights leader and president of the NAACP in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He was murdered by the KKK for his work on recruiting Blacks to vote, because nobody wants that. Mr. Dahmer sacrificed so Blacks could vote. So much so that on his tombstone, it says, if you don't vote, you don't count, because those were his last words. So he was dedicated to the cause. The lesson here, the lesson is voting matters. People have died for us to vote. So you gotta do it. Exactly. And that's it. It is 9 o'clock, everyone. It is weekend. Nice.
Thank you. Friday
Eve. Yeah, we're done. And we're on time. Hey, Casey's back. Yay.
Everybody, enjoy your night. It's Friday Eve. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, your suspects, Mary, Brian, Brent, Michelle, Shell, whoever else is watching and not in the chat.
Right. Shout out
Thank
to
you guys.
Moderator holding it down.
Yes.
Doing the thing.
Yes.
I'll give her a big shout out as always. We'll see y'all next week.